Today's a half day. And, okay, so the list is CNSP. That's at the top of the list. This looks outstanding. Also because it's fresh. It just started around 8 a.m. to get hot. It wasn't like yesterday and now it's really wrung out. This is underexploited. However, now I need to go and look at it in Thinkorswim because TradingView does not offer good intraday volume. In fact, it's incorrect. Very incorrect. And now I'm going to look at it in Thinkorswim and see if we've got $1 million minutes. Yeah. Um, we started with a $400,000 minute back at the beginning here, but that was at the peak. So this movement here was very underexploited. And then $400,000 of peak, and then it pulled back, but it only pulled back 50%. That's such a good sign. And then the first breakout volume was 600,000 right here, 600,000 volume. It's nice early entry before breakout at $2. And then it ran, and you would have been in for that whole run if you did that right. All the way to 363. My God. Almost double, almost 100% gains, probably about 80% gains possible. But then there was another spike at, okay, so then it spiked, extended over here. So that usually means time to get out, sell into strength. You get in at 2, get out at 3. So what is that, 50% gains? Yeah, something like that. And it's been soft pulling back since then, and everything's been above WAP, this blue line. So this is looking good. 250 shares is what it shows on my system for size, for $100 of risk, which is 40 cents. So if I were to get in here at 290, I'd be getting out at 250. My system, I programmed it to tell me how much it would be in number of shares on stocks. It does have a pretty damn good guess whenever I do my actual calculations from pivot points on the thing. Pretty close. This one I feel like could be a little more. Maybe dollar risk would be better. Maybe 200 shares would be better, but we'll see. And so CNSP definitely qualifies. Tesla yesterday was moving around a lot, so I have that still up. OPTT, so CNSP, and we have like 7 other picks to look at here. Look, the daily chart on CNSP also, let's see. Well, it doesn't look good. Looks really, really bad on the daily chart. I mean, like, when was the last time it had a push? You know, back here. So, it doesn't look good. So that just tells you you need to get out almost as fast as you got in. Don't stick around trying to build up a position because this thing's going to go to 18. It's not. We can see that you need to be quick and in and out. All right, CNSP. V Viper. Vivo Power. Okay, V Viper is how I see that. They should have put PW. Should have put V or WOPW. That would have been clever because that would have said VVO because the W is a double V, double VO. That would have almost said Vivo and then power PW. Sometimes I can come up with better names for these. What was it? Wasn't Robinhood, or there's another IPO a little while back, and I felt like they should have named it differently. Probably Robinhood could have been RBHD, but Hood is good. No, it was something else though. All right, Vivo Power. See, this one's maybe not so good. Let's see. That's since yesterday, midday yesterday, or at the end of the day yesterday. Popped up. Hey, Ben. And see how every time it made progress, kept pulling back so much. And yes, it made one move and it barely continued. So it can't get out continuation. If it can't get continuation going, then you're at high risk. Think of it this way, instead of it being about numbers and price levels, think of the ability for it to go on a continuation as it being able to offer you two pushes, right? Instead of one. So this thing could offer you one push, right? Well, if it can offer you two pushes, lot you see it frequently, then in that sense, just mathematically, you could get at least 2 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Two pushes for one panic drop that you have to stop out at. So in that sense, in the wild west of day trading, uh, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Versus say, oh, I think this thing could go to $5. I can get in here at $3 with $1 of risk. Therefore, that's uh, out at 2 on the downside, out at 5 for take profit. That's 2 to 1 in price level. No, you don't even need to really think of it that way because you don't have the time necessarily as a day trader necessarily to really do all that math, and you don't really have to. You can just look at the chart and say, is this thing have the ability to push and then push more? And if it only has done that once or once, that's not enough. Like it needs to be the behavior of it. All right, market's opening in 8 minutes, so let's go through more. So anyway, V Viper, I think we'll watch it, but that does not look good. I'll put it down here in the bottom left. Or what the fuck it's called. I call it V Viper. I don't give a shit. All right, V Viper, and then Z Car. To me, it's just the handle for craziness. So see how bad Z-Car is? Can you see that? Like, do you see that in this intraday chart? It's terrible. Every push is met with almost full retracement or more. It pushes and then, crap out. And then push and come back down. And then push and then, okay, that's 50%. That's not too bad. But now, full retracement and breaking down. I mean, it's just what a fucking mess and so inconsistent. So forget Z-Car. Doyu, little by little, we're getting to stocks that have moved up less and less. Doyu, terrible. Just sideways. It hasn't made any progress all morning. Doyu, JXJT. I like to be able to see these though. I don't want the computer screening these out and making those judgments for themselves. And they're very, what's the word? Very thin judgments, something like that. Narrow judgments. It's hard to get a computer to make them for you. In fact, it's impossible right now. Para. All right, now this one looks great. You see that? Keeps making price progress. This pullback here, not so good, but hey, we could deal with that because look at all the positive gain. I mean, we got 4 rallies in a row here that we would have been able to stay in for the whole thing. And then the previous day, 3 rallies in a row. I mean, it's got good behavior. And then, yeah, sometimes it's gonna be bad. That happens too. 1, 2, 3 times it was bad, but 2 times it was super good. So, and when it's bad, it's only bad one time. So, when you look at the good versus the bad, it's looking good. Para. So I'll pull that up in my second day trading uh, overview system here, and set the number of shares on that. Yeah, the volume looks good. I just double checked. It's done $1 million. It's had $1 million minutes, and it says 300 shares for me for my allocation on that one. So I'll be cocked and ready on that one. Para. Let's put those here. Para. NSP. PNSP is already looking bad. It's like really fading, really bleeding out before they open. But that's pretty typical for these things. look sketchy before the open. All right, silver, by the way, yeah, we were noticing yesterday that it was up and, I mean, that was signaling. And this morning it's gapped up. Yesterday was at 26, 27. Now it's almost at 28. Silver, the commodity, the metal, the precious metal, silver. Apara CVAC, only up 13% pre-market. See, look at that. Up, sideways, fading. That's kind of what CNSP is starting to look like as we've been talking about it, you know. Wonderful. Not opportunity. Potential, wonderful potential. Yeah, it's wonderful potential, this behavior back here, although it was early morning, so, but not too early, 8 a.m. So we'll see if we can, if that will continue at the open. That's pretty good behavior. CVAC and SCLX is the last one on that list. See, and we look at that, and I mean, you can obviously see that, right? That's pop and then fade, breakdown, 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 breakdown. You don't want any part of that. Zero part of that. Nothing. All right, let's go look at the market. We got 2 minutes, 3 minutes before the open. What we can say about the market from here. I think we have to double check. There's some important news coming out this morning. Wednesday, 8:30, the balance of trade came out. It didn't move the markets, exports and imports, but we did have jobless claims. Let me check on what those numbers came out like. It came out as jobless claims a tick higher, but I mean basically in line, but a few more jobless claims than expected. So that's going to potentially cause the market be more cautious. And today's a half day, by the way. And then at 10 a.m., top of the hour, we got PMI numbers coming out. And then at 2 p.m., but I believe the market will be closed by then. At 2 p.m., JPOW will be releasing the Fed report. Okay, so that's what we have in store for us today on the market. However, it's a half day. And what time is trading finished today? Let's see. Market hours, July 3rd. Day, July Independence Day. To, well, yeah, it's closed tomorrow, but maybe today's not a half day. Being it's not a half day. Let me see. Yeah, till 1 p.m. today. NASDAQ, the New York, so NYSE, NASDAQ, and OTC markets will close at 1 p.m. today. The bond market will be open until 2 p.m. and then the FOMC minutes come out. Okay, so yeah, and this report that I'm looking at says that you can expect about half volume today. So that means price range could be more flat or average moving than prior days. All right, so I'm gonna be watching Para at the open. Obviously, I'm fully loaded on my spread portfolio. Here we go. The market's opening in 10 seconds. So I'll be watching my positions as well. Looking for breakout volume minutes, which would be $1 million or $2 million green minute on Para. And CNSP, I just need about $600,000 minute, which, oh gosh, that's already kind of there. Happening on CNSP. Press bailing out right at the open. CNSP is really happening, but I got to give it kind of the minute. 25 seconds in. I might pull the trigger here. We got over $1 million going on. 35 seconds in. Okay, I'm pulling the trigger. We're on CNSP. So I'm in. Although I did not wait for the completed minute. So you could just like fail out right here. And then I would just flatten though. And para not happening. The market itself running a little bit at the open. That's good. I mean, we closed so high yesterday. To make more progress today would be just amazing. It's uncalled for. CNSP is holding. The market is flying off of the open. I'm ready to cut CNSP at a pivot break, but I'll probably wait till it breaks below 250. I'll give it a little bit of room. All right, so I'm already up a little bit on CNSP. I'm going to go for taking a chunk out right here. Boom. I'm taking 1/6 out, about 15%. Take profit right there. And then look at para just dropping and dropping and dropping. It never signaled. All right, I'm still sitting on about 80% of my position on CNSP. I'll probably put an automatic sale just below $3 at 299 on CNSP. Another pivot point would be 316. So maybe 3 and 333 there. 316, 14. Already putting my orders in, so I don't even have to look at it for a little. I'll just hear the bling bling if it's working out. And if it's not working out, oh, there it goes. See, it's already moving the other direction. I'm gonna flatten now. Boom, flattened. All right, there you go. See, that's how fast this day trading is. I'm out and I was up. Let's see. I was up 0.2 R. No, at one point I was up a little bit more than that, 0.3 R. I took some profits. It wasn't enough. Like I gotta practice what I preach because these things they go so fast. Your profits could be gone so fast that it could have been a better idea to take out half and just that's why I'm telling you, take it out. And so then I flattened when it pulled back hard like that. And I flattened before it got worse. You see, it's getting worse now. I flattened before it got worse. And so therefore I was down minus zero point 0.1 R. So I could do that 10 times and I've lost only 1 R. Just by properly doing that, that keeps you in the game. Sizing and risk management, and knowing to get out right away on the sign of something bad. And that's just in Thinkorswim. That wasn't with a high frequency trading setup. With a high frequency trading setup, I could have seen that shit way before everybody else and been profitable, probably profitable on the trade, albeit just slightly. But yeah, no, I have everything in my portfolio and all my money I'm pushing into bonds and swing trading, day trading to keep up my skills and to help you guys learn how to do it as well. Yeah, the market's making new highs today, I think. New all-time highs. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is a new all-time high on the growth market and then S&P 500. Almost there. Not a new all-time high on the S&P 500, and the Dow is quite pulled back. But the growth market is the leading market, is the economic growth market, is the business cycle market. That's the one that indicates to us that the business cycle is in full swing and full effect. We got some movement on para here. Now, this could be an entry. I'm going to try that one now. Entering on para as it blipped a $8 million minute. And then over here, I'll tell you what, I'll get out a lot faster. All right, so I'm taking a third right now, if I'll even get it. If I don't get it, then this thing's a bit sketchy and lacks follow through. And that move up that I got in on is more like a trap. Well, we'll see. Dojiing right now. Cool thing in Thinkorswim, you cannot get smaller than 1 minute charts. But the cool thing about Trading View is I can get even like 10-second charts here, so I can really see the curve of the trading movement, how it's going. But on the 1 minute, it looks like this. It kind of doesn't look like a lot of information, but the information is actually more informative, more weighted. So this is not looking good, in my opinion, on Mara. So it's going to need to pick up here. Follow through. It's now 60% retraced. That's not good. One of the things you can do when you're already in a position is you can de-risk. So you can just take some off the table, even while like sort of in a half loss scenario, just because it didn't follow through. This could be a point to do that, but we're getting about 5 bars of support here on the 10-second chart, which is kind of okay. Let's sit for just a second longer, but probably I could have. Probably not going to work out. Para. My risk unit on Para is 30 cents, and I got in at 11.85. So like I'm good for a full R all the way down to 11.55. All right, so it's actually moving a little bit now. On the 1 minute chart, that's technically an entry, so it might push a little bit. There we go. We got a little bit of an entry. And I think I'm about to get my first third out because I put it right up above that level. If you go, like right here. Let's see what happens if I believe it's going to touch it. There we go. So now I'm a third out, which protects some of my downside. So if this thing's going to do what CNSP does and all these other stocks, they do this. They make a little bit of progress and then they just you know, rip dump, and they just dump on you. Right there, it didn't follow through. No follow through on the breakout. And I'll probably sell below this pivot point down here now, 1170, if it pulls back to it, because that would be a lack of progress. At this point, maybe it's going to make a charge back to the open, but we're coming up on VWAP as well. VWAP can be a sell point. Oh, Rusty left. I don't know. I was mostly explaining all this for Rusty. He's in the Ukraine and he needs money. So situation there difficult, and trying to teach him a little bit about how to do the day trading thing. But maybe you guys are learning something. I don't know. No, Marcus probably has this down to a T. What do you think, Marcus? Hearing my play-by-play moment. It everything that you already know, or is it everything you already know, or is it new? Okay, see there it goes. I don't like that bar. All right, I'm flattening out. There we go. All right, and I made on that one 0.05 R. And remember, I lost on the other one minus 0.1 R. So altogether, I'm only down 0.05 R, which means I could do 20 of these trades and only be down 1 R. That's just good, risk management right there. These big red bars are not great. That's not follow through. It doesn't matter if it, takes off again, and sure enough, yeah, I could grab some more if I wanted to. If I see the $1 million minute happen, if I see the $1 million minute happen, then I could get in again, but I don't have to. I mean, I traded well. I did my thing. And you do that again in another perfect like situation, and it goes, you know. Plus, uh, a couple weeks ago or a month ago or 2 months ago, or whatever, I was teaching the small cap momentum strategy. And as some of you may or may not remember, um, mostly you're looking to trade after 10 a.m. So this is just little free bonus. Once 10 a.m. is transpired, then you get to look at all of your top picks and you get to see which ones uh, look like they played out well from the open and which ones did not. So I can guarantee you that if they didn't play out well at the open, they're not really going to play out well later, even if they try to trick you and they move. R, Randy, is risk unit. Day trading, that's very important. What's your risk unit in the credit portfolio, Randy? What's your R in your credit portfolio? Spread portfolio. What's your R in your spread portfolio? You're pretty sharp, Randy. So no. Is it? You set it to 1%? That would allow you to have 100 positions. I don't think so. Oh, it was just a guess? No. What's your risk unit in your spread portfolio without guessing, with guesstimating, based on what sounds logical? Can't teach you to fish. I can't teach you to think. Do you know how many contracts you buy and stuff? And why do you buy that many? No, it's just the amount you choose to risk, but divided by something, because our terms of percent of something. Okay, we might be having a move here on Para. Having a breakout moment here on Para. I just gotta double check that volume would concur. Because look at this nice wedge that's strong minute, strong volume. Still thinking or typing or you got, I'm still waiting on you, Randy. Believe me, I'm not gonna let you off the hook on this. Don't be looking up what is R in trading. No, 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 no. Don't be cheating. Put this together. All right, I can give it a try right here. Already seen how you can get burned on this though. Go, it's moving up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take out a third already. That's how quick Para. It's already shown its cards. Time it makes progress, it pulls back. But another behavior that it's been doing is it's actually been remaining somewhat supported. So I'm gonna have to give it a little bit of breathing room. Here it is. This could be the one where it craps out. Not even 10 o'clock yet. So, you guys normally. But Randy, it's you know what your risk is. The amount I choose to risk was correct. Divided by what? Just start with this. What's the amount you choose to risk? In theory, that could be your R. That could be your risk unit, by the way. But in order to, hang on, I might have to sell. In order to, what's the word? Not equalize it. In order to be able to compare it across all portfolios. Side. Oh, fuck, I gave the answer. It needs to be in terms of percent. 2 to 3%. Yeah. Which is it? You got to choose one, Randy. You need to have a fixed R that you choose, and then that's what you do. What was it, 2 or 3% for you? You need to choose. Yes, 2%. Okay. So 2% will give you 50 positions. That's what R is. So, on your trades, you're willing to lose one R, and your R is 2%. Your risk unit is 2%. And when you lose at negative 100%, you lose one R. That's your risk unit. One risk unit, Randy's risk, how much Randy's risking in his portfolio and his system, his risk unit is 2% of his portfolio. Willing to lose 2% of his portfolio on any one trade. That's your risk unit. That's your R. 2%. And in your case, you can affix an actual dollar amount to it. It's different for every trader, but it is what it is. Try to get out, de-risk is what I'm doing now on Para. I de-risked a little bit, so now I have 1/3 left, and it's basically not working out. It's really trying to break through VWAP and can't do it. Yeah, and so when you're day trading, it's highly advised to make your R 1%, Randy. In day trading, it's highly advised to make your R 1%. And so what is that? You know what I mean? Like what that's floating out there. What 1% what, right? And so that's where we say, okay, I got to flatten out of Para. And that's where we say 1% of your whole portfolio. Your risk is the risk, the risk unit is something that corresponds to your portfolio, to your account balance, if you will. So in day trading, it's highly advised not to exceed 1R. It's not to exceed 1% per R unit. Yeah, but the risk unit is whatever you want it to be. You can say I lost 1R, and I always risk 5% of my capital on a trade. So therefore 1R is 5%. So, R is different for everybody and dependent on their risk. But now let's say, you're a day trader and you know that you should always not risk more than 1%, then your R is going to be 1R. And so when we day trade in Evan's room, R is always 1% in day trading, because that's what I recommend. You should never exceed 1%, but you can. You could change it if you need to. You can make it 0.5%. You can make it 0.25%. You can make it 1.25%, 1.5%. Well, I really advise against making it 2% or more. Most people, when they come to me, uh, they're risking 10 or 20% or 30% R. It's terrible, and it's no wonder why they blow their accounts. Yeah, no, it's true. And I remember Randy RJ, um, when he came to me, that was his problem. He was always losing money because uh, the variance. How many times are you going to lose before you win big? I think a lot of new traders think not that often, because they hear things like, if your win rate is, they hear traders with 50% to 80% win rate, which is really, really difficult and impossible unless you're an HFT trader and you have so many things on your side, like watching the level 2 and all kinds of stuff like that. Mostly you're going to be about a 30% win rate trader. And that means 3.5 to 1, 3.5 losses for every win. So therefore, you need to be getting 3.5 return or more when you win to make up for all your losses, right? Just to break even. But my point is that most beginning traders hear that math that I just did and go, boom, awesome. So I should probably risk maybe 25% of my portfolio on this trade. If they even have gotten to the level of understanding that the distance to their stop is the 25% that they're risking. But in the very beginning, traders hear, oh, you should only be risking 1%. They think of their capital like on the trade. In other words, if they had like $100,000 account, 1% is $1,000. They think they should only be buying $1,000 of Apple when they trade, like 10 shares. I don't know what it's at now, 200, 5 shares, whatever. That's not what that means. Let's assume that they're even less beginner than that, and they understand that if they're risking 1% of $100,000 account, that's $1,000 of risk. That's risk to stop. So if you get in at 200 and it goes down to, and you expect your stop to be at 195, that there's $5 in there, and if you don't want to lose $1,000, if you want to cap your max loss at $1,000, which is 1% of your portfolio, then you need to only buy 200 shares, because if it goes down 5 points times 200, that's $1,000. So it's okay. And that math I talk about in the 1% rule in the market mastery. But when RJ came to me, and I didn't know this, but he said later that was the biggest difference, and one of the hugest changes for him was learning the 1% rule. Was he was risking an arbitrary amount every time. Just maybe they use round numbers, like, oh, let me get 1,000 shares. Can I afford it? Yeah, I can afford it. And then they get it. But they haven't even thought, okay, wait a minute, before they even got in, they haven't thought, okay, where am I going to get out if this thing goes? And some people actually do, and that's not even enough. Later, Ben. All right. And but RJ, it took him a while to learn how to do those calculations, and he does them so fast now. He does them instantaneously, just about in his head. It's pretty cool, right? Like you can get to the point where you can do all those calculations in your head. Okay, like I'm going to get out here, and I've got it set up as I've programmed it as an indicator. It's probably not a good idea in some sense because, well, number one, it's not accurate. It's based on estimating with averages and stuff, but it's close. But number two, it doesn't keep my mind sharp at that level. But yeah, and then on top of that, then the other thing was the ladder strategy, which means how to take profits in partial profits, like all the way up, and to already set those. He's like you in that he took my advice and does it. He practices what I preach, even though I don't often. And he goes in and he sets all of his target levels uh, when he's day trading on the sell side, and he has it all laddered up. So it's just kind of automatic, ding, 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 And over the years, he learned with how to choose stocks with nuance and understand which stocks are worth trading. Oh, CNSP is going. I don't even have time to get in enough. It actually triggered the $1 million minute last minute ago at 2.6. So now I'm in late. And it's at 2.8. I would love to have gotten it at 2.6 and then be taking profits at 2.8, but I'm not. But here we go on um, CNSP, and I'm looking for just under $3, or probably I guess I'll put in one for 2.99. If it's really trying, let's see if it can make it. So anyway, that's what the R unit means, and it's different for everybody. Risk unit, R. And so what I was saying is I lost 0.05 R. And if my risk unit is 1%, then I lost 0.05% of 1%, 5/100ths of 1%. And if I'm willing to lose 1 R on every trade I make, then what I'm saying is I was so diligent about my risk that the way I traded it, I could have did it 20 times and I wouldn't even have lost what I could have lost on one trade. All right, it's starting to move now. CNSP just hit 295. Can you break out, little CNSP? And if it is going to be this strong, this is a fast right side reclaim. That's a really good sign. But I'm going to put one at 324 as well. This is what I tell RJ and everybody to do is to use ladder strategy. We actually have like price points. It's taught in the ladder momentum breakout strategy rules. We have price points depending on the price of the stock itself. Dollar, whether it's a $2 stock, a $3 stock, a $5 stock, 10, 20. We have different price target levels we shoot. And I'm literally not practiced enough to even remember those levels. And even when we used to do it, I would always ask RJ or somebody in the room, like, what are our what are the tier levels? It's called tiering, TIER. What are the price tiers for the ladder breakout strategy? Because just I just use my experience. All right, so it's showing that strength going into 3. That's why I got my first target set at 299. Probably RJ will put 297. When you're really practiced at this stuff. Just for RJ. In the spirit of RJ, I'll put it at 297. Oh, look, it's starting to pull back now. So it's already failing the push to 3. But actually, look at that. It hit, no, 295. Okay. Has not hit 3 yet. It's failing to push to 3, but this is a hard price push to get away from. So I think that's going to find some support now. We're above WAP. It's going to find some support here around 260 if it needs it. But let's just see how this transpires a little bit over on CNN. And I didn't day trade with options. That's good. Ben, I was telling Rusty not to do that. I don't think even Ben heard that. I was telling Rusty, don't day trade with options. Oh, let's see. Take a quick look at silver because I know that, okay, so it's held the open. But Joe Schmo is trading that CNSP. And let's see, I'm going to check in with my other positions, see if there's anything up or down that I need to pay attention to. Down, okay, but I don't think gamma, gamma, gamma is it's like a magic line. So fucking. So anyway, I just had to check on that. Ooh, my Iron Condor on TSM is now swung out of profit. Yep, there it is, exactly. Moving outside of my mouth. Don't think I have a chance for it to come back in even tomorrow, but I might end up closing that. I think we're getting close to 21 DTE. Where are you? Days 44? Wait a minute. Oh, that's TMV. No, TSM. 16 days to expiration. So yeah, I need to get rid of that. Right, still watching CNSP. And we're coming up on 10 o'clock. Boom, there's 10 o'clock now. There's some market information, I believe, being released at 10 o'clock. Forget what it was. Got a good move on Uber so far too. I don't think that's really going to hold up Uber right now, but let me see. This is not a great place to get into. CNSP's not following through. And it did break through 260, which I thought would be support. Yep. All right. Got to flatten out. Oof. That one brought me to 0.8 R. Geez, thanks a lot. But glad to be out now because it looks like it's plummeting even further. Well, there you go. You see, not all trades are going to work out on you. And by the way, you're not even supposed to start trading this strategy in particular until after 10 a.m. That way you can clearly see what kind of stocks have good behavior or not. And as you can see, it did not. It was not able to really hold its open. It never did. It never made it past the high or put in anything very supportive because it even broke pre-market levels. It just overall, if you were to analyze that opening 30 minutes, not super great, especially with this right side by 10 a.m. So, and the same thing on Para. We go back and we look at Para. How was its first 30 minutes? Awful. See? Awful. So they both sort of don't qualify now, even if they start to perk up later. Maybe if these things, when they break out, they might be able to get you a scalp in a minute, but it's likely to fail. We did get some economic numbers here at 10 a.m. Let's take a quick look at those. 10 a.m. What are you giving me all countries for? Clear 10 a.m. numbers, PMI comes in lower. And I can't remember if that's a good thing because I think it's an inflation index. That might mean that factory orders are down. I decreased. The diffusion index. Wow. A reading above 50 indicates the non-manufacturing economy is generally expanding. Below 50 indicates it's generally contracting or declining, that orders are down. And so we did get 48.8. So that's not a good sign. Oh yeah, the market is pulling back now on this information. We can see that. So it's a negative. ISM, what was that? ISM services hit a 4-year low, expecting 0.2%. Actually 48.8, expecting 52.5. Okay, so this is a bit of a surprise. Let's go look at the market reaction. Those numbers came out and it was a red bar, strong red bar, erasing almost all progress this morning. And it could continue to get worse. We'll see, 4 points, which way the 4 points point. Para just continues to curve down and fail out. 1 minute. See how you wouldn't want to anymore. One of the problems on Para is the float is 500 million shares. We need a much lower float. CNSP has a float of 125,000. That's insanely low. A nano cap. That's pretty cool. CNSP, excellent situation as far as the float goes. Just but Para, yeah, it has almost no ability to go anywhere. It would require too much money to push all the number of outstanding shares or float around. App, let's see. I think I have a position on that. Oh, wow. Breakout line has been touched that I've been waiting for a long time on APP. Luckily, I'm already in it. So I suppose I'm either taking profits on it or maybe I got all out yesterday. Let me see. APP. No, I still got some. I got one contract left, and it's at over 100% um, max profit. And the only way you could be that way is if there was a bid ask inefficiency, which means I might have a hard time getting out at negative 40, which is not possible. All right, so I will try to get out for a penny, and I'll put that there the whole day, and hopefully that'll get filled on app. I have another position on app, and that one's at 100%, and I have four contracts there. I'll try to sell them all for a penny. Right, so I have trying to get out on everything on app, looking good. Other things of mine that are doing great are Mara, apparently. Yeah, like way up here. Apparently, we used to make fun of the apparently guy. I've got two more contracts left at over 100% max profit, which means I can put them in for a penny. Order in for a penny to close. Now, if I had something that way up there like that and it was expiring on Friday, I'd probably just leave it. Just like WDC. Oh, interestingly enough, that made rates drop. So I'll get the wow, and utilities are moving up. Uh, and that is a sign of rotation into defensives, which is a bad sign for the growth market. So I think we're going to see some, it's perfect timing too, because we're right at the top. We're going to see some push back down into the consolidation region over the next few days. We got the 2 p.m. minutes too coming out. So from WDC looking great. So highly elevated. I'm up over 100% max profit. So I got to put that in. One contract penny. That is Adobe at 88% max profit. Oh man, that looks so good. Adobe, I got one contract left, 88% max profit. I'll put it in for a little bit now. Then I'll do 17. TMDX, 82% max profit. It looks great, right? I mean, it's like carbon copy of Adobe. I mean, once they peel off your break even line, that's it. You're, in like Flynn, trade worked. And I've got two contracts left on that. Max profit. That open. Arvana at 65% max profit. Laid off many days ago. I've been taking fence, and the mid is 60. The ask is 64. Arvana CLS at 51% max, 53% max profit now. See that? We're just right on through the break even line. This is the spot I want to be at on it. 5 contracts of those. Pay for it. 85 cents for it. So 85 divided by 2, 42.7. 42. That's crazy. I was inputting 41. All right, yeah, that minus what? 39. Oh, the Tesla. Tesla's continuing to do more move. Oh, god damn. What a breakout. So nice. And I am indeed up 50% on that. So take that profit now. 10% on the shares. Okay, so it's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, so the shares I'm up 9.62%. Option position, which is okay, listen to this, 4.8 dollar two I paid, and it's now at 6.6 divided by 2%. Oh, 58 cents. Okay. Uh, that's basically it's close to 50% max profit, and then the a dollar two, 25.6% times 0.56, approximately 14% return on my capital. Okay, so I did this as an experiment. I bought shares and I bought the put credit spread at the same time. Okay, I'm up 9.4% on my shares, but I'm up 14.7% on my put credit spread. Put credit spreads continue to outperform the shares. And yeah, I'm gonna put in an order to close out my put credit spread at half of a dollar two, which is 51. That I should be getting that at some day, and I can go ahead and sell my shares here since they're basically useless compared to getting the credit spread. Helio on Tesla. That was a quick trade. ANF. Oh, mod trade we got onto it. I'm not sure if this is accurate. Oh yes, look at that. It cut right on through the break even on our entry. And it's enough now that it's up 70% plus max profit. Five of those contracts, and so I will put in an order to ANF is approaching 50% max profit. Data is decaying. One more move up would be over 50%. I'm going to put in a 50% order. Might click today. 5 minus 15 is 82 cents. So 41 cents will be half at 48 cents right now. So I'm really close. By the way, off of the open, we have like 75% of our stocks are looking good off of the open. VFS is number one, isn't it? I don't think we're in that right now. Yeah, no, that doesn't look too great. Let's take a look at these opportunities for a second. Twist. Check this out. Yesterday, I coded this new thing here. If you can see, RSI. I have them throughout a couple of my watch lists now. The interesting thing is the green means it might be a dip buy situation, a tasty dip buy situation, but you still have to go to the stock and look at how the chart looks. TEO. Yeah, see, no. No, not on that one. And another one here is very tasty, could be Lyft. I don't think so. Down. Yeah. And then Wayfair. All those not looking good. And these blue ones are meaning they're ice cold. They're hitting new RSI lows. Terrible. Huh. Actually, that was not so bad. And then this one, Ava. In a couple of days, or even Friday, that one of those ice colds could turn green because And then did I check all the greens? W, and another one was VKTX. These could all be at excellent dip buy points. If they were good stocks and you wanted to get in on a dip buy. Well, this one, yeah, I don't like the way it looks, so you would not. Back to Twist, that was looking interesting. Kind of like in an up cycle. Last earnings was a surprise to upside, and it's just been drifting higher ever since. 30. Let's check the options liquidity. I wish that you could reach in and check underlying liquidity on an option uh, programmatically from ThinkScript in Thinkorswim, so then I could just have a little indication whether it's liquid or illiquid right next to every ticker. That'd be great. But you can check the options liquidity every. That's what you're supposed to do. It sold 7 options today in total across the entire chain. Yeah, that's a big fat no. The bid ask spread is about 60%. So that's what happens when things are illiquid. Let's see. Ooh, my Kava is at almost 50% take profit point. We'll look at some more opportunities. Look at that chart. Beauty. Vectorizing all the way up. You should look up the meaning of that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Trajectorizing. It's inconceivable. But anyway, yeah, I guess I have a put credit spread on Kava, and 292.2 is what I paid for it. My $1.06, uh, and half of that would be 53. Anyway, I'll put an order at 53 for one. In fact, I have 5. Good to cancel, so maybe it's over the course of days it'll finally get there. I'll hear a bling. What was that? Ah, okay, good. Kava's in the sweet spot now. And then I go in for the rest of my contract at more aggressive prices. That's the way I do it. Hey, Rand. That's got to be a bid ask inefficiency. Huge move on Oscar. Could this be correct? No, not. Not correct. Should be down. Okay, that's a bid ask inefficiency. Something's not right. You know what? Maybe I'll try to exploit it. Talking about it and see if we get filled. All right. What else we got going on here? OCGN. I'm still in that. Tesla off the open, doing really good. I'm already in. Hood. I'm already in. All those anyway. Just a second. Yeah. So OCGN continuing to make that nice strong green right side move. I already took some profits on it. All right. These were day trades. CNSP. Oh yeah. Now Oscar moved to where it was supposed to be. VST. All right, VST. I think I might have just looked at that. I think we looked at VRT. Ooh, that looks really good. That's really good. Oh man, I hope the options are liquid on this because this is basically perfect. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but if it does, it's exactly what we're looking for. This is practically a model situation. I'm going to take a screenshot of this later. All right, BSD option liquidity, 6,000 so far. All right, that could be good. August 16, 20 delta, probably 80 is the 21 delta. F wide, and I'm getting $1.05. Perfect. I'm gonna get in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No fill. Damn. I hate to chase. Um, Super high. This is an excellent point to get in. Gotta chase. $1.02. That'd be fine. No, damn it. I accidentally clicked cancel order. Fuck. Gotta get into this. Oh, that's Oscar. BSC 80. For $1.12. Oh, even better now. Well, then why didn't you fill me before? So this might be a give it to me. Let's go. Not filling. $1.07 it now says. Give that to me. Nothing. $1 it says. That's still fine. That's 25% ROI. Give it to me though. There we go. What did I get? $1. Okay, that's good. We know it. $1 is how much ROC? 25%. Exactly on the money. We could do it in our head because $1 for $4 of risk on a $5 spread. We'll see. Setup. Am I already in this? I see a credit spread in. No, it doesn't show me anything. I must have taken profits on this or possibly gotten out at negative 100%. But this is idyllic. Looks great. Everything's lining up on this. Uh, so yeah, I want to draw my line now. I like to draw my line, Alex. Okay, got it for $1, so that's 70. Click template. All right, knock on wood that does it what it should do. This is about as perfect that you can get set up. You know? Just exited your last 3 contracts with good. Netflix, CCJ, and Spot at profits before more time goes by. Have I done that right due to it being less than 21? Yeah, even though I did that yesterday, I had something at 13 DTE, and I was at like 57% profit or 67% or whatever. Or no, I was at like 47. It had pulled back whatever below 50%, and I just cut it. That's fine. So I never saw accelerated gains or over 50% return on max gain. Yeah, no, that's correct. Right. I'll have to follow the 21 DTE rule because things get far more whiplashy after 21 DTE. So you might not see your position worsening, like let's say you're up 30%, but what might happen is all of a sudden, boom, it's up 52%. It's all of a sudden has a good day. And then the next day it goes back to where it was, but because it whiplashed, now it's at 30%. It starts to ping pong more extreme. It starts to rip away from each other. The ups and the downs start to become uh, more magnified. Like if you have a 0 DTE, I mean, you don't probably have any experience with this, thank God. But if you have a 0 DTE on something during the last 2 hours of the trading day, uh, it can sometimes go to incredible profit to zero. and then back to incredible profit, and then to zero, and you're sitting there, and it's got 15 minutes left till it closes, and it keeps going back and forth. It's like moving back and forth across your strike. It's incredible profit, and then zero, and then incredible like 100%, and then zero, and then it's going back and forth, and then market closes, and it's zero. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you waiting for? Um, yeah, well, people with zero DTEs, they don't have max profits. But well, we do the way we set them up, but our situation would be better than that. But people who trade zero DT raw vanilla basic options, they buy them, not sell them. They buy them. Um, they can't believe what they're seeing. Like sometimes it's plus 300% and then 0%. They're like, shit, no, should I wait? And it's just they're getting thrashed. Terrible trade. All right, that was VST. VFS. Tesla is now number three on the list, looking still good. I would wait for a pullback on Tesla to get in, by the way. IQ app, excuse me. Oh yeah, I already got my orders out on app. App looks great. It's breaking out of this key level at whatever that was, 86, and great sign for app. Right side reclaim, if you will. But this long to go down to here, but this much to get back. So it's faster. The momentum is increasing on what that was, app. I'm already in it, so I'm taking profits, and it's kind of already in that one, looking good. Is it an entry though for you guys? That's the question. It is, I think. Let me see. 29 days until earnings. So you have the 24-day runway. Yeah, if you're not in CEG, here's another opportunity to get in it. I got in it 3 days ago at this price. Just sort of wringing out the trade a little bit, but hopefully if it could just off of my break even at some point, sure. Then I'll see, close to 100% max profit as we approach ER. IQI Oscar. Well, I would say no, maybe tomorrow, possibly on, I mean, Friday on an entry. I'm already in it. TO, we look ready. STRL. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go through lots of things. Let me take my first break on the day. Thank you for hanging after 10. It's now 10:30. We've done an hour and a half this morning. And today's a short day, but it's been fun. It's been educational. No class tomorrow. It's 4th of July. Have a great 4th of July, everybody, if I don't see you. But I will let everybody know if there's anything you should get into back in the group. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Have a very nice, happy 4th of July. Take care.